Hi, I'm Bill Butler.
1, 2, 3, 4.
What we're going with today is another bald cypress. This one was dug last October, I believe. It is a bald cypress, of course. It's in an area that is periodically flooded and periodically drained. And it has a large section of deadwood that was already there. That's fairly... Okay, this is the section of deadwood. The tree was dug in October, not a good time to dig trees. However, it is just budding back like crazy. So I'm just going to let everything grow. There is a nice branch in the back here. I probably will keep that, and I will probably get rid of this clump of branches here. But for now, this is drawing energy up from the base, and I want to keep as much of the tissue under the bark alive for as long as possible. Over here, I've got a live branch low and in the back. That's dead. This has a live section on it. That's dead. Up to here, let's see. Yeah. Over here, it's pretty much dead. But it's got some live coming out near the base of it. So this is probably going to be just a little nub of something. Well, let's get to a couple of little features in here that's the point of this video today. Here and here are two little branchlets that are pointing into the deadwood. They're going in this direction here, down and down, and we'll highlight them a little better like that. That's probably blowing out the exposure. But what I find really interesting about these, if I can guess what they are the basis for some of this branching. This little guy here, it's a little bit of a dead branch here. And that's where this thing is coming from. Let's see if I can do this real quick. So what happens when you've got a tree? You've got a nice trunk. It puts out. Move that up a little bit. I'm trying to do this on the fly. It's going to grow a branch. So 1 year it puts out a little stem. Each year the trunk gets a little thicker, as well as the branch itself. And when he comes to this stage, and he's getting fatter, and you get out here, and he's getting fatter with each year, what you end up with this heavy branch out here is you end up with roughly a cone-shaped idea of this is the original location of the branch, and then each year it got thicker as the position of the outer layer of bark moves further and further outward. I believe that this may be from the original branch. I've got another one from the other way in the back. It's hard to see. See if I can highlight this. This one is heading outward, so this is a former branch. Let's see, can you see it? Little guy right in there. Well, you can't see it. Anyway, I'll come back. Yes, it's a wet tub. Why am I mentioning all this? What I'm doing this for is here Okay. And up a little further, there's another round section up here. The reason I wanted to bring this up is it's illustrating something to me about what we do when we're carving the trunks of trees, trying to make them look old. We've got cracking, we've got little sections of branches that are coming out into the deadwood area. We've got little eyes, as you would see in lumber. You would see a knot in the wood. Well, here we've got the little knots in the wood in several places. When we get in there and we're carving some young tree and trying to make it look like an old tree, we're missing out on finding old trees that are already rotting, or finding a large enough trunk that if you could get in there and pull wood out, you would find these things. What do we do about it? I don't know. This is just something that I've noticed. I got real lucky to find this last October, as I mentioned. I got real lucky to find this particular tree. It was only about, for the width of this tree was only 10 or 12 feet tall. Not a very tall tree. It's in an area where a lot of the bald cypress are just stunted. They do not grow. They've been there for a very long time and they do not grow. But I found this one. It's giving me insight into what we should be striving for when we're carving deadwood into our trees. I'm going to close out here. It's just something to think about. This is what we should be trying to replicate. The starts of old branches, missing starts of branches that form knots. You can't fake it. You can show degraded wood. Get out of there. My dog's drinking out the pots. Yeah, you're coughing, you goof. Okay. So, where was I? You can't fake it. It'd be nice if we could carve this into it, but still, the wood grain, the collar, going back to my drawing, as I was showing the branch growing out at its base, having a bevel at its base, this section out here where the bark is widening and opening up and allowing that branch to continue to be, well, my thumb here is representing the collar. That's what that is. And I'm going to digress for a moment. I always do. When you cut a branch off of a trunk, you don't want to touch the collar. This section here of the branch, from as thick as it is now to as thin as it once was, if you cut just above the collar, then you're encouraging rot. You can mask it off, you can put some cut paste on it, hope for everything to grow over it, but of course that's the collar. But the rot that's going to affect the tree should be contained to the branch that you cut. But if you nick that collar, I'm drawing little arrows here in case you can't see it. If you cut the collar, the rot is going to come out into the trunk in various directions. It's not contained to this original bit of the branch and each successive growth ring on that branch. You'd be cutting that collar. That's why we don't want to cut the collars. But back to this. Look at an old tree when you pull it out. You're not going to get this growing it from seed. Not in your lifetime. This is going to come from an old tree that you find, you collect. You can look for evidence of knots. and you can try to shatter and pull at the deadwood, and that would be, in my guesstimation, just about the best way to find these little hidden gems, the starts of old branches and the knots where and holes where knots should be of branches that are no more. So that's it for today. I'm trying to get to the ABS Denver 2023 this Thursday, and my wife and I are going to be driving there. I hope to see some of you there. And this is an attempt to just knock out a video because I haven't posted in a long time, not since Whiskey Willie did his little Christmas presentation. So here we are, there you are. Look for me in Denver. Y'all take care now. Bye.